Hey everyone, it's Justine, health coach, nutritionist, Reiki practitioner, and author of the book, Lose Your Inches Without Losing Your Mind. I'm inspired to make a video, and I get my inspiration for my videos based on conversations I'm having with people, with friends, what's happening in sessions with clients, and there always seems to be like recurring themes that come up, so I feel like now I'll make a video about it. So today's video is about balancing the masculine and feminine energies, or the yin and yang energies within us. I'm going to do random energy updates because, that's what I'm into. And just kind of like what's going on so you can understand it and so you can work to, balance yourself. Because nobody can do the healing work except for you. And where we start to heal ourselves and start to grow is really just to have awareness. Like, I didn't know a lot of things, and the more that I read and the more that I study and the more that I talk to people, I just like learn so much. So I really just want to share that knowledge. So it's all about balancing ourselves. Now, within each person, so we all have, it doesn't matter your gender, we all have masculine and feminine energies, which, if that's too weird to think about, just think of like the yin and the yang, the symbol. I'll put maybe a little picture below. But that's been around for centuries, this concept of balance, balance in ourselves, balance in nature, like everything really is all about balance. And when we get off balance, then things in our life just don't flow very well. It could affect our relationships, it could affect our work, it could affect, finances. It can affect so many things when we're off balance within ourselves. And there's this one phrase that says, as within, so without. So whatever's happening in your inner world is reflected in your outer world. So you can think of your outer world as a mirror. So if like something's just not going right, or drama keeps coming up in your life, or just things just keep happening kind of like on a cycle or on a loop, it's time to like just take a step back and be like, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? What is really going on? Like what shift do I need to make within myself so that things can start shifting, outside of me? So let's talk about distorted masculine and feminine energy, what that looks like within us, and then what it looks like balanced, and then what we could do to balance ourselves. And it's interesting, so a lot of my sessions lately, whether it's health coaching or Reiki or both, a lot of people are off balance, and women especially seems to have been kind of more in their masculine energy a lot, and this has happened just because we work more, women it's like they do everything. It's like they work and then they have families, and they take care of the kids and they cook and they're making all these decisions. And so somewhere we've gotten, and we like overgive, like give, and then we feel guilty about receiving help and receiving, just even taking time for ourselves to like go on a walk. Like a lot of women feel guilty about that. And then men, like there's a same thing. Like there's so much about, they need to like work, provide. They feel guilty sometimes taking time for themselves to just like be, or just go on a vacation, or not work for a day and just, be in nature. So somewhere along the lines, like everything's kind of gotten out of whack. So what's going on right now is that it's time for us to get back in balance. So what does a distorted masculine energy look like? So again, this is all within us, and I've been doing a lot of self-work lately, which I'm sure you've noticed. This is why I'm making videos and doing posts often, is just in my own journey. Like I've noticed that as I continue to work on myself, which I will always be doing, probably till the day, I go to the other side. It's just like a continual journey, and we're always going to be growing and changing, always for the better. So distorted masculine energy is like a very, very alpha, like always must win, okay? There's only winners or losers. There's no in between. There's no gray. I used to be very black and white, probably in probably high school, and then maybe being in college. I was like very black and white. I was very masculine energy, especially right after college, because I ran a business and I was just in charge of like 30 people, and I just worked so much. Definitely didn't take care of myself very well. But I didn't have any tolerance for anything in between. It was like no gray. I've definitely become gray now, so and in hair color. But anyway, that's why I color it. So yeah, there's no in between. Domination, force, sometimes abuse of power, falsely relaying one's accomplishments. Like overly bragging about things you've done, or it's just not that truthful. The idea of separation. This is a distorted masculine energy. Just so feeling really separate from other people, like it's just you and you are all alone. That's a separation consciousness, and that's a distorted masculine energy. A balanced version of that is connection. Competition driven. Nothing wrong with competition. We all want to win at things and do our best at things, but it's like if it's like the only thing that's important. It can get a little bit distorted. Fear of being seen as weak, fear of showing that vulnerable side. Fear of emotions, fear of expressing emotions, fear of feeling emotions. I used to repress a lot of emotions. I would just stuff them down. That's why a long time ago I would turn to food to suppress the emotions. That was emotional eating. But I just didn't want to feel, because I felt guilty about feeling emotions and showing emotions, or like expressing them, or sharing my feelings even. I really just like stuff. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Inability to praise another. So not giving credit where credit is due. And then last, and this is a big one, is just unresolved pain and fear towards the feminine as a whole. And this can stem from any sort of female relationship you've had. It could be with a mother, with a sister, a daughter, a female friend, like female, obviously, relationships. If you're, just in one way or another, you may have been hurt by all these different people that were feminine, and you just have this distrust of feminine in general. So that's a distorted masculine energy, is completely not trusting the feminine energy, right? And then distorted feminine on the other side is fear, like not feeling fulfilled, like looking outside of self for fulfillment, looking outside of self for meaning. I definitely used to do this, like looking to another person to make you feel like you're worthy or you matter. To allowing, to giving, again, give, and then you're totally depleted at the end, and then there's nothing to give yourself, like not receiving. Overly sensitive, waiting for things to happen rather than taking action, just kind of like waiting. Possibly like money issues, fantasy driven, fear of conflict, not wanting to speak up, fear of handling situations, seeking validation from others. Again, excessively emotional. And then again, a big core is unresolved pain/fear towards the masculine in general. So yeah, I really had to think about this a lot, just even since being small, what are the masculine figures that have been in my life? What have I learned from them? What were some patterns that I was doing? One major pattern was making myself be smaller to help, overly giving, give, I'm here, you're there, you're awesome, I'm just always going to uplift you, and not feeling I could receive. And if I did speak up or just sort of own my femininity or feminine power even, it was they were let's just say they viewed it as competition versus proud that, oh, my woman is a strong woman and also feminine, right? So I just learned in various experiences to be small, and there's really no reason to do that. So I've been learning to trust the masculine again, and know that it's okay to be feminine and express myself and have that support. So think about your own personal life and where you may be overly giving or overly working or overly just go and not taking time for yourself. Just really like think about it in your personal life, in your work life. Where is it that you feel out of balance? So then what you do to become in balance is to just acknowledge. A lot of times just awareness heals everything. Like if you're in a situation, and let's say in my situation, let's say like a guy would say something to me. Now I could react one way, or, which I don't do anymore, I kind of like sit with it. I don't react. Now it's more like, oh, okay. And I kind of like look at the whole situation for big picture wise. Um, in the past, I would like immediately react. So now I'm just being aware to, you know, pause, look at it, and then speak or express myself or whatever. So it's just that having that awareness, right? Awareness can fix everything. If you're like, I used to always feel really separate. So again, that's a distorted masculine energy, separation driven. Now it's like, you know what? It's great to have connection. It's great to have close friends. It's great to have loved ones that you can trust and open up to. And I've been really embracing connection lately. And it's funny, like all these people have just reappeared in my life just out of nowhere that I haven't seen in years. And it's just been like, just so magical. Because now I'm open to connection. Like, it's all good, right? So yeah, awareness, noticing what your triggers are, noticing what your typical reactions are, having that awareness to change it. Tuning into love instead of fear. And this is the biggest one. Like, for whatever reason, we're always programmed to go into fear mode first, right? So when you notice that something's coming up and you're immediately fearful, I mean, even making these videos, each time I make one, I'm like, okay, my initial reaction is fear, right? Oh, I'm going to say something, someone's not going to like it, someone's going to think what I'm saying is stupid, whatever. But then I shift it. I'm like, oh, this is a fear mentality. So now I'm going to shift it. I'm going to shift it into love. How am I shifting it into love? Because someone's going to need to hear whatever it is I'm saying. One sentence or one word is going to resonate with whoever watches this. If you're watching it, you're supposed to watch it. And I'm going to help them on their journey. So that's just awareness. Oh, that's the fear mentality. Okay, thank you for that. I'm okay. I'm safe. All is good. Switching it to go to love and then do what I'm supposed to do. So in anything, it's always going to be, first reaction is always going to be fear, because again, that's what we're programmed to do, and our programmed reaction. And now as we're becoming aware and conscious of it, we're switching it. Yes. So that'll help to balance the yin and the yang within you. And then again, just noticing what are subconscious ways you've been blocking intimacy and connection in your life. So having that awareness. Intimacy, I mean, it's just connection. Again, just hanging out with close friends, being yourself, talking to people, talking to your loved ones, like not being afraid to be yourself and to be like, here I am, take it or leave it. That really just clears up so much with distorted masculine or feminine energies within us. Just be yourself. So what does a balanced masculine energy within yourself look like? Strength, direction, clarity, perseverance, action, practicality, very grounded, courageous, adventurous, movement, a knowingness, confidence, boundaries, healthy boundaries, and responsibility. And what does a balanced feminine energy within you look like? Intuition, nurturing, receptivity, magnetism, rejuvenation, connection, flexibility, flow, gentleness, surrender, faith, trust, softness, and just overall healing. So what's an example of how you can use this in practical life? Like, how can you be balanced? Okay, so for example, you're noticing that I'm now, I have a Reiki practice, right? How did this come about? How have I been able to balance the masculine and feminine energy within myself to get things moving along? So just the knowingness to even get a certification. Like, I'm like, I know I need to do this. A knowingness is called clear cognizance. So we all have different abilities. We're all intuitive in some degree. If you don't think it's intuition, it could be your gut feeling, you know, whatever it is. Everyone has it. And you usually have stronger abilities. So there's knowingness, there's like feeling, there's just sensing. Some people actually will hear. But for me, my strongest is knowing. And then my second strongest is feeling. So I just knew I needed to get certified. I didn't know why. I got certified. And then I just knew I needed to go on this long trip across the world and be in nature. I didn't know why. I just knew I needed to go. And then afterwards, I knew I needed to keep listening to the intuition, but also taking action. Okay, so that's the feminine and the masculine. So after Bali, this acupuncturist just popped in my brain that I met with 4 years ago. I was like, oh, why is she in my brain? So that's the intuition coming in. And then the masculine, you know, the action part that's the masculine energy. I'm like, oh, I'm going to contact her. So I contacted her. And then the day, I did meet with her like a few days later, but the day I happened to email her, she teaches acupuncture as well. She happened to teach acupuncture that day. She was teaching to her students that day. They happened to be talking about Reiki that day. The students were doing Reiki on each other, and she was thinking to herself, I really would like a Reiki session, but not with my students. I happened to email her that day. She remembered me. She's like, oh my gosh, Justine, yes. We met a few days later. Of course, I did a session on her, and it was meeting up with her again, which is magical. And now I'm going to be working there starting in January to help her clients on their journey with the things that they're going through. So it's like, you know, so that's a perfect example of, and that's why I do things faster. Like in the past, like distorted feminine would be like, oh yeah, maybe I should contact this person. I'll get around to it. I'll do it next week. But now it's like intuition in, then action out. It's like way faster and smoother and flowing. So yeah. So anyway, so I hope that this video is helpful for you, because again, we're all just getting rebalanced in ourselves. And again, as within, so without. So whatever is going on in your outer life, as you work on yourself, everything in your life is going to shift for the better. Relationships will be better. Abundance will be better. Opportunities will be better. People are just going to show up out of the blue they haven't talked to in years. It is magical. Like, it's really neat to see how this works, but it does take that inner work. Like, you got to do the work. No one can heal yourself except for you. And if that word is triggering, even the word healing, like, no one can help you grow and keep empowering you except for you. Okay, we're always evolving, we're always growing. So I encourage you to keep doing that. So if you'd like to work with me for health coaching, I work primarily over video. And you can book a session. I have a group ongoing, which I'll post below. And also, I am now doing remote Reiki energy sessions. They're absolutely amazing, very intuitive. You can feel it from wherever it is you are in the world. I'm in my home, you're in your home. It's really, I mean, talk about magic. Like, this stuff is so cool. So I am doing that as well. And that's also on the website. All right, so I will talk to you next video. See you later.